We need
Dungeon Doom Hands. Let's talk lore. A podcast.
Welcome back. I'm Spencer. This is Chris. Pointed in the right direction this time, where we talk about things Dungeons and Dragons related. So, with that said, Chris, I know we had one topic at least prepared that we were thinking about this week. What is that topic?
A very important topic about Dungeon Masters taking breaks.
Ooh, that's a good one. And that relates to what we're doing right now, actually, in our live stream every other Monday, Agoth Doomhand. I mean, to be honest, I'll just break this one open. I needed a break. I was having such a good time DMing with you guys, and we really got into a rhythm. It took a while. We'll play every other week. And I feel like pretty much even on the water when we were still like in the boat, we must have spent like 6 months in the Underdark now. I feel like we were really cruising. It was awesome, but I'm just sort of like creatively exhausted. I need to spend some time doing other things, and I think that was my reasoning for wanting a break.
Mm-hmm. Well, it takes a lot of extra time outside of the game to prepare, especially with the maps and everything else that you're doing.
Yeah.
And I know this is something that we talked about a long time ago. This is why I did that couple session little break for you early on, right, in our Artemisian Forest.
Yeah.
And ever since then, we're talking about doing a little bit longer break so you can be a player for more than just one little adventure.
Yeah. I feel like, honestly, like, I think taking a break after even like, you do 1, 2, 3, maybe even after every other, it depends on what you guys are doing. But I think taking a break is great because it allows you to play as a player. You get to see certain things like, okay, wow, when I was doing that must have been annoying. But also you get to play the game. That's what I'm mostly excited about because I haven't really played a player since forever, and you guys kill every NPC I have anyway. So it's tough to.
Not all of us. I try not to.
That's true. I don't want to label you, but you're part of the clan.
I understand.
But let's use the one where we did like Artemisian Forest. I brought you guys through 7 sessions. That's 3 hours a session, 2 hours, and 3 hours a session. That was 21 hours, maybe more, maybe less. And I was tired. I didn't know exactly what I was doing DMing, and I wanted a little bit of a break. And you took over, and you had us meet this carnival guy. He was a wizard, and so on and so forth. It was like a long 2 to 3 session side quest, which was perfect. And it allowed me to, play and figure out just exactly what it was that I think like getting in the eyes of the player, see what that's about, but also like momentum. Also, I think it's just like a different. Every dungeon master has a different style, and I think that it was nice to see your style. It's nice to see other styles.
Well, it's like anything else. If you're doing something, it's always great to see other options or other people doing something similar, so you can pick up little things here and there. But also seeing, like what you said, being on the player side of the table, hearing the descriptions of a scene and understanding, like as a DM, you see what you're trying to put out there, but the players are only receiving what you're giving them. So allowing you to understand how you want to explain something, or maybe a little bit different style, but also not having the pressure of feeling like you have to control everything about the whole session the entire time we're playing.
It was, it was funny. I feel like we haven't done a full analysis of like problem players. Quite honestly, I think a lot of the problems with problem players comes with that's I guess a side tangent with actually how the DM handles those situations. But we can talk about that at another point in time.
We can talk about that after you get a couple sessions.
Yeah,
and we get
because I have a
as
feeling.
an example.
I have a feeling like I might be a horrible. The DM taking a side break might be a problem player.
No.
But it's going to be interesting because I have this whole story. We've been playing for 3 years, and I don't want it to get messed up. But at the same time, you can't control everything, and you're gonna do a good job, and I'm not worried about that. But
we've been talking about this for a while, so we had an idea of where I was going to do it, and it's an area where you didn't throw anything in there, so I can't really screw up too much of the story. Just so you know, I am gonna throw. You're gonna really need to be taking notes because I am gonna throw a lot of stuff at you that is going to be canon from here on out, and you will have to adjust certain little things in your story.
Well,
just a forewarning on that. But
it's going to be fun. We've built a certain framework. Like at least I know the area that we're in.
Mm-hmm.
And that is your, as the DM giving it to you, you're essentially God. You could technically you could transfer us to a different world, different plane of existence, and everything in this world could stand still. Doesn't you have full reign? But it's going to be interesting.
Just wait till you let me loose on the Everglade.
Yeah,
you have no idea what's happening there.
I don't think that the DM being tired and exhausted because he has, like me again, full-time job, babies at home, wife, another full-time job, trying to work out another full-time. Working out is not a full-time job, but trying to work out
we're getting older. We have to take care of our bodies.
Yeah, yes. And doing our side quests. Yes. I don't think that that's a reason why you should stop playing. I just think that someone else at the table wants to handle it. Let the group continue and join back in when you're ready.
Well, it's something that we've said before. It's as a DM, you're a player too. But you're coming to the table to have fun, and something that's
true.
My in-person group here, we're going through all the published D&D adventures. And
I'm so jealous about that.
It is so much fun. So happy. Out of the abyss right now, and we're all playing old people. This is great. But all the 6 people at the table, we're all going to DM 3 or 4 adventures. More now since they're releasing a whole lot more of them.
Yeah.
But you get maybe 6 to 20 sessions of an adventure of a new DM, and you get to see all these different styles. And one thing that I have loved about that is seeing there are a couple problem players at our table, or the personality types that could be a problem if they're not addressed. Right. And it's interesting to see it as the player side and the DM side, and even as a player DMing for your group that you're playing with, it gives you perspective on how the other people in your party, your group, play.
Right.
And how you can, as a player, interact with them.
So your group, you guys have, 5 people, 6 people, or whatever, that come in and out. You guys play like 3 to 4 sessions and then pass the baton to the next DM?
No, we'll play a full adventure. So,
okay.
The last one I ran was Ice Sparrow Peak. I ran it long because the party took every single side quest I threw at them, and they're like, "Yes, we're doing it all." And they had a whole bunch of backstory, so I'm like, "Sure, let's just do it and have fun." Everyone's having fun, so it lasted 20 sessions, and that was one of the longest single settings of a DM.
Well, what do you do? So, the way that we handed off was. Between the two, we've been doing Let's Talk Lore, but between the two of us, we've sort of planned out where they're going to go and what item they may try to find.
Well,
so like a game hook.
I think for our second topic, it's going to be all about that specific style, or that specific thing. But this goes into the idea of how you do your your DM break, your GM break. It's like in my in-person group, we're doing an individual adventure, so we know it's like so-and-so's up next, and they're going to do this adventure until we finish it. And it's its own separate standalone thing where you don't have to worry about a continual story running through. Or like what we're doing, what we did before, the random 2-shot in the middle of the carnival. It could be just a little spurt, just something, throw it in random, has nothing to do with anything of the other adventure, but it's its own cool little thing, and then you can get back into it. Or what we're doing now of taking a huge section. I think this is the harder way, more challenging way of doing it, because I'm having to continue the story, and I think a prime example is I was not ready for the handoff.
Right. Well, that one I wanted to keep it a little bit of a surprise. I was going to do it like the next session maybe, but I was not going to have you do anything. But the handoff was hilarious. I just essentially, so for those of you who didn't tune in last time to the Agoth Doomhand series, last Monday, we got to the end. We fought the Baal, the avatar of Baal, and we encountered Doomhand, who is going to die and then get reincarnated somehow. And a new NPC and the king, Lololo, came, and I introduced the new character, and I was like, and now Chris is the DM, and I just tried to sit back, but he was not prepared, so I helped him a little bit. And people were like, "What?
You gave me the 2 minutes to actually open up my notes that I needed in order to do that handoff."
Yeah, I was like, so let's see what everyone gets in this
box,
this treasure box.
Chris, what do we find?
Yeah.
You find you find this and this, and you find a note. Chris, what does the note say? Oh, by the way, you're the DM now.
Yeah, I forgot. And then I was buying a little bit of time, so I was like, all right, let's give everyone an individual item or whatever.
Yeah.
And I rolled to see what kind of items it was, but everyone was tired, so we were like, all right, instead of doing individual items, let's just have like the magic portion of it be random. So everyone decided to roll, and we got gloves. And then I rolled another roll, and I was trying to buy Chris time to not make his life difficult DMing, and then every item that we had, so I'm not sure if it's like 1 glove or 2 gloves, but the gloves that each person has their own sentient.
I have to rewatch that because I was focused somewhere else and had no idea what you were talking about.
I mean, you can make that whatever you want. One idea I was thinking about was like just having the gloves want to like touch, one out of 10 type of things,
No, the gloves want to make you murder because they're gloves found in Temple Ball.
It's true.
Next to artifacts and other things.
And you guys you guys got branded as cultists too. That was fun.
Yep. So I'll figure something out with that.
That's so funny.
Yeah, DM breaks are necessary. It's burnout is a real thing.
It is true.
The same thing over and over, and I think now is a great time to take a break with the campaign for you, because you took from the Artemisian Forest to the desert to the water to the Underdark to Trigod. You were developing the style, a rhythm, a flow of how you want to DM for our group, because it's developed and we found a nice cohesive unit, and it seemed not effortless, but it seemed smooth.
It was
like Trigard seemed right. It was the smoothest arc story wise, and it was great. And the other nice thing is now you get some time to actually sort out your notes.
Yeah,
so when you're DMing session after session, you have notebooks full of stuff. Like I have all this information for when I need it. But now you actually have time to like go sit down, organize things, look through your notes again, and like, oh yeah, there's this thing and this thing and this thing. So when you come back, I'm expecting that there's going to be a bunch of random crap that we completely forgot. That you're just going to throw at us.
Yeah, that's definitely.
You have all this extra time of not building a map.
Well, I would imagine that, and one cool thing, and I guess this will go to the next topic, one cool thing that I realized. So the plan is to slowly, over like a 10-year process, create a playable campaign online and maybe on a bookshelf. Let's see where it goes. Very slow. I'm not going to have this affect any portion of my my existence outside the realm of D&D, but I do plan on enjoying myself doing it. But one thing that I was going through, even with the Artemisian Force, I was like, okay, so like, what do you need for a campaign? You need some lore, but like, I don't want to use too much language. Too many campaign books. I was looking at the ones I have here. There's so much language in there. Like it's a little daunting to read, but also it's hard to. You don't want to read that if you're like me and do 40 to 60% of your prepping beforehand, like you don't want to have 40% having to read stuff live at the table. I don't want
you don't have to wait and say, hold on, let me finish reading this whole section, this quarter of a page.
So I was going through all the notes and I was like, what game hooks did we miss? Because people that play the Forest, which is what I'm working on, might want to play certain things. So I imagine that when I come back to this game, I will have gone through all of the open game hooks, and I will have drawn a line to every character, which is going to be funny. So for those of you who are tuning in now, we just finished the first segment of DM transitions.
Before we finish that transition, you just brought up a great point. As a DM, you are world building and you are doing something creative. Taking a break from one task and doing something else creative is going to only help spur your mind when you get back behind the screen.
Oh, you think you have high hopes?
I know from my own personal experience. if I'm doing something, doing a project or something, and I get frustrated, put this down, go do something else, and your mind's going to be thinking subconsciously. Your mind does incredible things, and you'll come back and you're like, oh, now I have a simple, beautiful solution to all the stuff that I was wanting to do.
That's funny. Yeah, maybe I come back as Superman. You never know.
Absolutely.
We're gonna take a brief break and just leave it coasting as we discuss probably different things, but also what the next topic is going to be.
Similar things.
What's the next topic anyway?
So the next topic, let me pull my notes up, is the transition.
This is Rena. Rena rolled low during death saves and didn't get healed by his group. Don't be a Rena. Roll high and subscribe.